Wake up! Get up, you didn't take a shower. Let's go, work time, let's go! Why are you going so slow? Work faster! Faster! Let's go! Pick it up! What is this?
Identification card. Name: Welek Lucasberg. Date of birth: February 1st, 1923. Place of birth: Dąbrowa-Górnicza, Poland. Welek grew up in Dąbrowa-Górnicza, in an industrial town in western Poland. His father, Symitra, was a wholesale meat merchant, and his mother, Rosilla, served as a president of the local chapter of the Women's International Zionist Organization. Welek's older brother, Zilmo, was a dentist. The Lucasbergs were among the several thousand Jews who lived in Dąbrowa-Górnicza. 1933 through 1939. Like many other children in the town, Welek attended public school because his family was very religious. He did not attend class on Saturdays, in observance of the Sabbath. At school, Welek was beaten by his classmates and called a Christ killer. Local anti-Semites also mounted a boycott against Jewish stores in Dąbrowa. When Welek was 16, German troops invaded Poland. On September 3, 1939, Dąbrowa was occupied and Jews there were subjected to discriminatory laws. Furs and other valuable items were confiscated and of Jewish business and were identified then seized. 1940 through 1945. In 1941, German officials forced the town's Jews into a ghetto. The following year, Welek's parents were deported along with other Jews from Dąbrowa to the Auschwitz-Birkenau killing center, where they perished. Zilmo was injured in forced labor and sent to the death camp. In March 1943, just a few months before the ghetto was liquidated, Welek was transported to the Belhammer camp. Later, he was transferred to the Gluckwitz, a labor camp that became part of the vast Auschwitz concentration camp network. There, he befriended Hinda Cholwicz, a fellow inmate. In January 1945, the prisoners were sent on a death march. Welek and the other male prisoners were taken to the Sachsenhausen concentration camp and from there evacuated to the Flossenburg and Regensburg camps. In May 1945, as U.S. troops approached, the SS abandoned the prisoners on the death march to Austria. A German farmer found Welek on the side of the road and turned him over to the Americans. In October 1945, he reunited with Hinda and a displaced persons camp. They were married on March 2nd, 1940.
Card. Selma Schwartzwald. Sophie Turner Zachary. Date of birth, September 2nd, 1937. Place of birth, Lviv, Poland. Both of Selma's Jewish parents, Daniel Schwartzwald and Laura Litwak, had been raised in an industrial city of Lviv. As many different nationalities lived in Lviv, Selma's mother and father could speak many languages: Polish, Russian, German, and Yiddish. In running his successful lumber business, Daniel also occasionally used English. 1933 through 39. My parents married in April 1935, and I was born 2 years later. My father was afraid that there might be a war and wanted to move the family to safety in Britain, but my mother didn't want to abandon her parents. In September 1939, when I was 2 years old, the Germans invaded Poland from the west while the Soviets invaded from the east. Lviv fell under Soviet control. 1940 to 44. In 1941, the Germans occupied Lviv. On the day of my 5th birthday, my father disappeared. My mother and I moved to a small town called Ostrowiec. She told me my name was Sophia Tamajo, that we were Catholic, and warned me, never tell anyone we're from Lowe, never talk to strangers. We became practicing Catholics. One day at school, my teacher said Germans and Jews were bad. The Germans because they killed the Poles, the Jews because they killed Jesus. I asked Mother. She said she knew some Jews and that they weren't all bad. After the war ended, Selma and her mother immigrated to England. There, Selma learned that she was Jewish. She eventually became a doctor and settled in America in 1963.
Start choking.
I'm Hitler, and I command you to operate on the ill.